Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into what is basically a high-stakes psychological experiment. We've got two brilliant architects, two completely different philosophies, and one massive challenge that's going to decide which path really leads to greatness.
And really, the whole story we're about to unpack boils down to this single question. Is it that brilliant, fiery spark of motivation that builds the future? Or is it the steady, quiet, unyielding hand of discipline? Let's find out.
So meet our two competitors. On one side, you have Elias Thorne. This guy is a total force of nature who runs on what can only be described as an inferno of motivation. And on the other side, Sarah Lynn. Her entire approach is built on the cold, hard iron of discipline. Both of them are at the top of their game, but their methods, well, they couldn't be more opposite. And the challenge they're facing? Whoa, the stakes couldn't be higher. They've both been tapped for the super prestigious Vanguard Initiative. Their mission, design the City of Tomorrow Pavilion, and they have exactly 100 days to do it. This is a career-defining project, so there is literally zero room for error. Okay, so let's dive into phase one, the initial spark. You know how it is with any new project? This is where that first rush of energy and excitement is just off the charts. Elias, of course, just explodes out of the gate. He is completely consumed by this thing. We're talking 12-hour days, manic energy. His workspace is this chaotic temple of inspiration covered in mood boards. He is absolutely fueled by the vision of winning. He is riding a massive, epic wave of pure motivation. And here's what's so fascinating, the science behind what Elias is feeling. Motivation isn't just some abstract idea. It's a literal chemical reaction. It's a dopamine spike in your brain that makes you crave that reward. Think of it like a biological starter motor. It's incredibly powerful, it's thrilling, but here's the catch, and this is crucial. By its very nature, it's unsustainable. It's a flash in the pan. Now let's look at Sarah's approach. It is the polar opposite. A calm, consistent, almost boring 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. schedule. Her workspace is clean, barren, zero distractions. See, she isn't waiting for a feeling to hit her. She has a system. In fact, she's already pre-planned every single task for all 100 days. And this, right here, illustrates the core difference. Discipline isn't a feeling at all. It's a cognitive choice. It's your logical brain, your prefrontal cortex, literally overriding your emotional, impulsive brain. It's the tool you use to bridge that gap between what you want right now and what you want most. So, what happens when that initial dopamine high inevitably burns out? Because let's be real, it always does. Well, welcome to phase two, when the feeling fades. This is where the real test actually begins. By about day 35, the honeymoon is officially over. All the exciting big picture brainstorming is done. Now it's just the grind. The boring, tedious, detail-oriented work that is absolutely essential but completely unglamorous. Trust me, there is no dopamine hit to be found in calculating ramp gradients. And just like that, Elias hits a brick wall. His fuel source, motivation, has totally evaporated. And because his entire system depends on that feeling, he starts to rationalize his lack of progress. He says you can't force art, he's just waiting for that wave to come back, but the tide has gone out. Okay, this slide right here says it all. Just look at the difference in their response to the grind. Elias's production grinds to a complete halt. He's paralyzed, just waiting for inspiration to strike again. Sarah, on the other hand, guess what? She also feels unmotivated, but, and this is the key, it doesn't matter. She acknowledges the feeling and then she just executes the next small, almost robotic step in her pre-planned system. She keeps moving the needle forward, feeling or no feeling. All right, so things are already getting tough. But now let's throw a major shock into the system, a completely unforeseen crisis that's going to stress test both of their methods to the absolute breaking point. So in day 68, this email lands like a bombshell, a massive curveball. They've discovered a historic aqueduct on the site and poof, the building footprint is suddenly cut by 20%. For an architect, this is an absolute nightmare, a scenario that could completely derail the entire project. And now, look at this timeline. The difference in their response is just staggering. Elias is totally consumed by frustration. He spirals into 4 full days of paralysis, basically rationalizing why the project is now impossible. His motivation-based system just shatters on impact. Sarah, she feels the same frustration, but gives herself exactly 10 minutes to process it. Then she immediately gets back to work. So how did she do it?
How did she recover so fast? Well, she didn't try to solve the giant, terrifying problem all at once. She used her system to break the catastrophe down into tiny, manageable, non-emotional steps. Step 1. Redraw one line. That's it. Anyone can do that. By focusing on the smallest possible action, she built momentum and completely neutralized that emotional panic. And now, we've arrived at the climax of this whole experiment. Phase 4, the final verdict. We're at the finish line, and it is time for the final presentations. These final 10 days just perfectly capture the results of their two approaches. Elias is in a state of what can only be called a panic-induced frenzy. He's pulling all-nighters, his execution is getting sloppy. Sarah, on the other hand, is in the glide. Because she did the hard work when she didn't feel like it, she's now calmly cruising to the finish line, getting plenty of sleep, and just polishing details on a project that's already done. The Q&A session with the judges is just devastating for Elias. His beautiful, passionate design is riddled with real-world flaws he overlooked in his panicked rush. He fumbles the questions. He has no concrete answers. Sarah's design, however, is airtight. Why? Because her disciplined process meant every single tedious problem was anticipated and solved months ago. She has an instant, data-backed solution for everything they throw at her. You can probably guess what happened next. The result was inevitable. The panel didn't even really need to deliberate. Sarah's disciplined, systematic approach produced a far superior, reality-proof design. She was the clear and unanimous winner. And the entire lesson of this story is captured perfectly in Sarah's final thoughts. She said that motivation is like a visitor. It shows up when it wants, it leaves when it wants, you can't count on it. But discipline? Discipline is the house. It's the structure you can rely on every single day, especially on the days you're tired, bored, and just don't feel like it. And this metaphor really drives it home. Motivation is essential, right? It's the spark that starts the fire. But a spark dies in a second. Discipline. Well, discipline is the hard, heavy, unglamorous work of chopping the wood and carrying the logs every single day to actually keep that fire burning long after the spark is gone. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? I think we're all naturally drawn to the spectacular flash of motivational lightning. It's exciting, but what this story shows us is that real, lasting, monumental achievement, it isn't built by lightning. It's carved, slowly and quietly, by the steady, quiet, unrelenting river of discipline.
Please like and subscribe.